Oculus is not real VR. Well, that ain't a clickbait title. I don't agree with it, by the way, and I have a point to get to, so if you hit the dislike button and leave before hearing me out, you suck. But thanks for the view. I appreciate you. Hello, virtual dreamers, Gregory here. The topic of today's video is an opinion I've seen floated around the internet quite a bit that says headsets like the Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and PlayStation VR aren't VR, or aren't real VR? What the heck is that even supposed to... Okay, listen, I hate to say it, but I used to actually think something like that at one point in time. Ugh. Yeah, that's a pretty nasty one to admit. So yeah, how about we bury my past and dig some heads out of the dirt while we're at it, since this is a real ugly one. The only scenario where head-mounted displays aren't virtual reality is basically when you're so high on some weeb stuff like SAO or something like that that you forget what words mean. If you can understand that and are a classy person who can listen to ideas they don't like rather than just assume they're garbage for not being yours, hit the like button and let the world know that we've got some smart people watching this video. Let's start this off by going over the reason why the argument that today's VR isn't VR is wrong, since it's actually fairly easy to cover. Let's open up the dictionary here. Virtual reality, an artificial environment which is experienced through sensory stimuli, such as sights or sounds, provided by a computer, and in which one's actions partially determine what happens in the environment. Also, the technology used to create or access a virtual reality. Merriam-Webster. Notice any part of that definition that says it has to be 100% immersive? Didn't think so. By literal definition, everything ranging from the Virtual Boy to the Nerve Gear is VR tech. So saying things like the Oculus Quest and binaural audio aren't VR is like saying black and white silent films weren't movies. Clearly, sound, color, and HD made things more desirable to most people, but to deny the old technology's existence because of that is elitist and disrespectful to the history of your medium. We all want better VR, people, but making today's technology to be less than it is not gonna help us with that. Modern virtual reality systems are capable of immersing the senses of sight, hearing, and proprioception to such a point that your brain can't help but be immersed. Period. Whether it's as great as we were hoping it would be or all-inclusive as we want it to be is irrelevant to the objective reality that these things are virtual reality technology. Stuff's awesome and really on a whole other level to everything we've had before. If we don't support it now, we may very well not foster the competition and demand that drove movies to innovate color as fast as they did. Don't think this stuff is inevitable, people. Intel was happy to make us have 4 cores on our consumer processors till AMD busted the door down with Ryzen, and it looks like it's gonna take Elon Musk being frickin' nuts to get us to Mars. Godspeed, you magnificent son of a bitch! With that out of the way, let's address things more level-headedly and look at what the haters are actually trying to say through all the clickbaity titles and such. The VR of today is not the VR we were expecting. See, that's not as spicy as Oculus is not real VR. So there's clickbait and trolls all over this shit. Today's VR is definitely planets beyond what we've had in the past, but it's whole galaxies away from the VR of, say, Sword Art Online's literal soul tech, or the Matrix's red pill makes you a god and hung kung fu master stuff. The promised VR of those stories covers the entirety of every sense and our actions. Sight, hearing, taste, smell, good times, the works. Hell, they even do it in convenient packages, often affordable enough that high school aged kids can buy them, nag their parents enough to buy it for them, or have been built in at birth. Don't mention that today's VR is both convenient and affordable now thanks to things like the Oculus Quest. They're nothing alike. Really though, beyond taste and smell, which I think most people aren't thinking about, the elements of virtual reality that people are actually lamenting are the weakness in haptics and neural controls. These are both big elements of the promise of virtual reality that fictional movies make and are understandably disappointing to not have. Not being Superman and able to f*** your waifus are clearly big problems. What's the point of living if I can't be a virtual god after all? In many ways, the lack of these two elements make VR today more like augmented reality on steroids. AR is based on motion controls and intrinsically demands lower-end haptics since things like physics and other people and traffic are concerns that you have to take into account. Those are things today's VR tech handles to a T, which is likely a part of the reason why there's been a lot of debate on the technical terms at hand, with things like mixed reality or cross reality being made to distinguish the different forms of the tech. To compare it to the vision of things like Sword Art Online, Ready Player One, and The Matrix would be no less wrong than it would be to say that the technologies aren't VR at all. This argument I get, even if I have to admit the internet has royally screwed language. Damn it, Gilgamesh, not that kind of a drill. Despite the perspective difference, I remain on the side of supporting the medium's progression. While I am total weeb trash, I am a good boy who listened when mom told me not to believe everything I see on TV. Didn't stop me from making career decisions based on TV, but at the very least I understand that all we get from TV and anime is glorified montages of the actual hard work, boring number crunchers and failures that it took to get to the final stages, along with the payoff. It's basically social media posts, but with a budget. But remember, if we decided that gaming wouldn't be worth it till the graphics were photoreal, or that movies weren't worth it because they were black and white, low resolution, silent, and fake, every single great game and movie that has been released in the history of all our time wouldn't exist. No King Kong, no Wizard of Oz, no Mickey Mouse, no Star Wars, no Akira, no Mario, no Tetris, no Doom, no Zelda, no Half-Life, no Grand Theft Auto, no Minecraft, none of it. Things don't have to be perfect to be enjoyed. The only real criteria by which we should be judging the medium today is by the value it provides today. I, for one, love my Beat Saber, Miku worshipping, Cornhub, and Catgirl machine. If you don't, neat. We'll see you in 30 years when the rest of us have thoroughly enjoyed and gotten rich off of developing the AR and VR mediums while you hid under a rock being a hater. Thank you very much for watching this video. Be sure to rate, comment, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the VR tech we have today. Something better will always come out sooner or later, but it doesn't mean we have to be bored with what we have right now. Be sure to join the World Stage Discord server to be a part of the progress to the future that we're developing, or the Virtual Dreamers Discord to enjoy conversations with other like-minded individuals. Till next time, my fellow adventurers and dreamers, this has been Gregory, logging out.